You guys want to know a fun fact?
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild 2 will be the first sequel game in probably like 20 years. Like compared to like one after another. Like you had like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask.
Oh, you meant for Zelda. I thought you meant in general. I was like, I assure you there have been other games that were followed up by it too.
I don't know, man. Kingdom Hearts 2 was like 70 years
Even
before
that
3.
series didn't get followed up with a 2. Numbers are not that series' strong suit. It took them a while to teach Nomura what 3 is.
True.
They just teach
No, but yeah, in like Zelda, like you had like a link between worlds, right?
Yeah.
But that was like 20 years later.
Yeah.
2020,
The
25.
only last time we had a direct sequel right after was Adventure of Link.
No, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask.
Oh, true.
Unless there's some weird in between of Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time that I don't know about.
That was Four Swords and Majora's Mask and Ocarina. There was nothing.
Yep. So
yeah, woohoo!
Woo!
Since 20 years, Breath of the Wild 2 won Nintendo.
I think it sold 15 million copies of Breath of the Wild. I don't know anymore. But we're here. We're going to talk about 5 things we want to see in the sequel that's never coming out.
Yeah, never.
Never.
Like Metroid Prime 4.
Much like Metroid Prime 4. It's something quick that we could do and something that I thought of because we're going to need one for Wednesday. So, Pog. So, anybody would like to share their 5th one?
How confident are you guys in your 5th one? Like, do you think it's a strong pick or no? Because I got a pretty weak number 5.
Oh, no, mine's super weak.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Mine's very general.
Mine's like, I don't know if you guys have... It's okay. It's not...
I'll start us off. I want more towns.
That's a good one.
Like, I'm sick of Terrytown and then where you buy a house. That's whatever to me.
You have like 3
Well, to be fair,
towns.
for the setting, it makes sense. It's destroyed Hyrule.
Yeah,
like,
no, but like,
I agree. That,
I want
it's
more.
Been
Oh, wait,
1,000
and
years.
Kakariko, I forgot.
Actually, no,
yeah.
it's been like 1,000 years.
You have
How are there not more
Kakariko,
towns?
Hatento, the 4 main places in Terrytown.
Oh, that's actually kind of a lot.
Oh, that is a lot.
That's 7 out of the whole space, though.
Yeah, but...
But that's a lot for a Zelda game.
Yeah.
More towns. I want more towns that are, like, already put together. I don't want to build one again.
Yeah.
Though it was kind of fun building Terrytown.
I never did that.
I did, actually.
Me neither. I didn't even do all shrines. I'm sure both of you did.
I did.
No.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, shit.
I did all shrines and fully upgraded the tunic.
I'm gonna be honest. I beat Ganon and then put the game down.
However, I did all of the Korok seeds.
Yeah, why?
I
Not the
don't know.
shrine. I was gonna say.
No.
But I had
That's
the game.
900 of them? That's not happening.
909. Yeah. No, 999's Odyssey. I had a whole summer to play Breath of the Wild. That's all I did.
Nice.
Yeah, remember, you were really hyped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun with it. I'm excited for the sequel.
Yes. Are you confident in your 5th, or...?
I guess I'll go.
Okay,
I want more music.
I was gonna pick
The
that
game
one.
barely has any.
Oh, dude,
And
that
it's
that should have been my number 5, because I have
like-
such a weak number 5.
Like, don't get me wrong, like the field music is it is nice that it's like kind of just like the ambience, but like I would
I
also
ain't
like
playing
some more
Minecraft.
music. Yeah, I would also like some more music. It's a Zelda game. I like the music, like more music. It'd be cool. Alright, go ahead.
The music, like because when they did have music, it was
Yeah.
so
It
good.
was so good.
Guardian
They did it.
theme, the Ganon theme, Windblight, or the Blight themes. The DLC one for the boss, like for the DLC,
that's
so good.
I love the Hyrule Castle theme. Like that rendition of it was really nice. I like it.
I don't remember any of it. But it's also been 3 years.
It's
And like
on-
Zelda, like always has some like bangers. They don't
Yeah, dude.
not the whole track has never been like bangers
No,
before,
no.
but when you hear the bangers, you're just like,
But the music always just been nice. It's always been like good music.
yeah, you never not like it.
What's your favorite Zelda? What's your guys' favorite Zelda track, real quick?
Probably Twilight Princess.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I don't know, mine's probably Zelda's Lullaby. Or the main
Oh,
theme.
you meant like one song. I thought you meant like a
Yeah.
whole OST.
Oh, no, I meant like
Oh,
a singular song.
Never
Oh.
mind.
I think
Xanth?
it's a song, right? Yeah, okay.
Oh, I thought you meant tracks
I
in
didn't-
general, because mine's Twilight, but
No. I would have
either Xanth's theme or the final fight in Majora's Mask.
What about you?
The-
You can have one
The song that plays, I don't really have one singular one, but the song that the one that plays when you go to Kakariko Village in Twilight Princess.
That's good. Yeah, I love that one.
Doon 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 doon. Doon. I love that one so much. Yeah, that song. That 100%.
It like what was great about like the music in Twilight Princess is that wow, I still can't articulate things after everything that's happened. The thing I really liked about Twilight Princess is, like, we talked about the ambiance in Breath of the Wild, right? Its ambiance is its dark setting, and, like, the music even has, like, little things that will make it seem a bit more darker than every other soundtrack, which is really good.
Fighting the fucking Twilight monsters that you have to kill, like, all at once before they revive each other, that weird, like that weird, like, indescribable noise they make is just, it
Like when they're like,
sells that idea so well.
it does. It really does. My number 5, however, is just new. Like, it's super weak, but new places to explore instead of just the same Hyrule. Even if, like, because at the end of the trailer we did get, like, a weird thing where it was like, oh, we're shooting up, like, the castle. Are we going to space? Are we like doing something? That's obviously not happening.
Yeah,
But,
could you imagine? Nintendo's like,
the trailer.
But I'm pretty sure we're just gonna see, like, a really, like, dark Hyrule. And that's sort of what I don't want. I would love to just see new places.
Man, they're going the Fire Emblem route with this game. Show one trailer, nothing for a year. Nothing.
But yeah.
Love it.
And like,
love that, Nintendo. Thank you.
And like, I get that. Like, what I could be saying is just, oh, these are gonna be like ruins, and they're gonna be like our dungeons now or whatever, because that's what we were exploring in the first place. But like, it doesn't do anything for me. Like I would just like I would love to be somewhere that isn't Hyrule anymore. Like I would love to see that, because when we've done that, like Wind Waker is really good with it.
But it was still Hyrule.
It's
Hyrule's underwater, right? Right.
Yeah, it is, but it isn't. It's weird. Then you have wow, they predicted global warming. Not predicted,
What?
but they like.
Oh, you meant right.
Yeah, cause everything's under the water.
Yeah.
You had Link's Awakening did it really good. Majora's Mask did it really good. I could see why you wouldn't want to do that after the most recent development of what it was, which was Triforce Heroes. Wasn't there, but most of the time when it's out of Hyrule, they've done a pretty good job of it too. It's just that you're always in Hyrule because that's the land, but in this we've explored all of Hyrule. I sort of want to go somewhere else.
Me too. I'd like to see something other than Hyrule.
Even though somehow I don't think we're doing that. Alright, I'll go then with my number 4. I'm a bit more confident in this, which is I would like more unique items or at the very least I want a grappling hook, because every Zelda game has had some sort of grappling hook.
Double hook shot.
Yeah.
Hook shot, like grappling hook, like that's what I mean. Yeah. It's just every single like Zelda's had it, and like for the most part they do it very like good.
It's usually everyone's favorite item.
Yeah. And like
I was playing Twilight Princess today, like for a little bit before I came over here, and I was doing like the double claw shot part of a dungeon.
So
and I was
fun.
like,
So what I will say about Zelda's design when it comes to their items, the only problem is that you use the item in its dungeon and then basically never again. Like, they have no purpose outside of that.
Actually, that's what I like about Twilight Princess is that you use a lot of the items.
Yeah, but not all of them. Like, there are a few that like the spinny thingy. Like, when do you use that outside of where you're?
You
supposed
get
to
like
use?
you could get like
know?
hearts with it, like
Yeah,
like heart pieces.
Like actual like they're more like valuable instances
then again,
where you can use
it is
the
in
item.
the Sky Temple. You do it like twice.
And then also on the final boss,
Oh yeah.
or not like the final boss, but like the final dungeon as well. Like the ball and chain, like even using it in general, like you can still use it and deal so much damage.
Because like the thing is,
and you can use it for future like mini bosses and other
Right.
things.
I agree with you. Twilight Princess is a pretty good item
Yeah.
to use.
So like, because what makes the 4 runes so like good in Breath of the Wild is that you can use them in all. You use it for puzzling, platforming, fighting, it's everything. So it's like that. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have items. I'm just saying like
what I liked about older Zeldas
Yeah,
is that like the abundance of items, like
Yeah,
the
the cool
kooky
items,
Like in
half the
Skyward
fun.
Sword we had the beetle. Like
Mhm.
that's such a good item.
the
That's-
beetle was the only item that you used like for multiple like.
you
multiple
have like
instances, which is nice.
you have a like a rope
Yeah, I mean.
or like that's really like
That
a
one's pretty
grappling
lame, to
hook.
be honest. It doesn't do much. Outside of that boss, which is really cool, it's just kind of the fuck off.
What else? You have like digging mitts,
Yeah.
which is really cool too. And like so like Breath of the Wild to me like lacked like like a diverse like item pool and like really put the idea of focus where you must use an arrow to win. Like it's pretty much just like use an arrow, you win. Or like and as long as you can avoid your enemies enough times.
I don't know. I mean, if you look at like the required fights, I don't know if arrows are always filled. But I do agree that like you don't get to use your items that much in those fights, so I agree. It's pretty rare. Sometimes you can.
No, you use. Well, I played it no, wow, that should tell you anything about, what this year's been. I played it this year, like earlier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I played Breath of the Wild like all the way through.
Yeah.
Really?
So I know. So I kind of know what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying when I say I used arrows a lot more than I used a lot of my other items
Oh,
because
for sure. That's not an argument.
because it's a lot easier to do, like especially on like the blights.
Yeah, especially the blights for sure.
So it's
Plus, I'm gonna be honest, archery is like the best bit of the normal fight.
yeah. So, Jack, what do you got for us?
I thought it was a pretty strong pick until you said yours was weak. I want to explore somewhere else too. Yeah, because I don't want to run through the same Hyrule again. I already did it, and I ran through all the shrines. I don't want to do it all again. Part of me is like, they're just going to have some like, oh no, the land is distorted, or oh no, we got trapped in another dimension. But I hope if they do the another dimension, hope it's not evil Hyrule. I hope it's like a totally different place. But I don't want it to all be purple and black and grim. Like, I want it to be like, no, this is a whole other, like, area we're in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but...
Although I feel like we're just gonna get purple, black, and grim Hyrule.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, we had Link go into, like, a world that was underground, and it was Termina. Like, it was so nice. It had a sun. It was it was more colorful than Ocarina of Time. Like... I want to explore somewhere new. I don't want to run through the same map. I doubt I could finish the game if I'm running through the same place again.
It's gonna be, like, as big or bigger, but, like... I don't know.
I just want some variety. Like, I thought the map was beautiful, but, like, it kind of felt like the whole map was a Zelda's greatest hits. It's like, there's the Bridge of Eldin, there's the Statue of Din, they ruined Furore. I'm like, well, make your own thing. Make your crazy thing. You know, like, make your landmark. That way a game 8 years from now can go, hey, look, it's the Breath of the Wild thing.
Well, look, I get why they didn't with this game. So it's like,
Yeah, like, I kind of
it's
get
supposed
it.
to be kind of like the whole, like,
I understand for
Zelda.
the first
Like,
one,
this
but
is
it'd
a
be
new
really
Zelda,
cool.
you know, so it's like,
If
Like,
they
don't
do
get me
something-
wrong, like,
But,
when I walked to the bridge and said the Bridge of Eldin, I was like, oh,
yeah, exactly.
I was like, yeah! I was like, it's the bridge, and I was like, I was like walking across it like, this
Yeah.
feels like the fucking bridge, as the dragon tries to kill you. But, I don't know, like, I understand that's what that game wanted, and I'm glad it did that, but now do something new.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't mind if it's like, oh, look, it's kind of like the thing from Majora's Mask or Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but new stuff. I want new stuff.
Yeah, so I guess mine's just kind of like piggyback off of variety. I think this is probably my personal, like, what I had the biggest issue with when it came to this game was just the fight, like the combat in this game
Oh, that's a good pick.
is not fun. Like it's not good. It's
Because you're either
three basic
spamming
attacks.
arrows or you're trying to dodge or like
Yeah.
parry an item.
And like so one of my other ones was kind of like kind of goes together with this, but like the fact that items break de-incentivize you to fight. So there's that, right? Plus, so it's like there's that. Plus the fighting itself when you do fight isn't fun. You just mash Y, then dodge, and then mash
I
Y
actually
again.
have a solution to that.
And then
that
do
I
it
wrote
over
down.
and over and over again. Then your weapon breaks, and then you do it again. And it's like, okay, like obviously action games are gonna have the repetitions. All games of the genre have that. But the fact that like there is no variety whatsoever is that yes, you have different weapons, but they effectively do the same thing. It's just slower, faster. He just looks different when he's doing it. It's the same thing, and it's like it's not fun, So it's like not only are you de-incentivized to fight, but then when you do, it's like it's boring. It's not fun. It's not fun to fight, and it's like if the combat is a key aspect of this game more than any other Zelda game, so it should be good.
Quote unquote should.
Yeah. So that's kind of that's what got me like so like not wanting to play. Is that, like I'm not having fun. Like I'm just running around. That's literally all I do. I discover a place and then I just run to the next place and then I do that until I have to continue the story. Whatever. Not what. I didn't pay just to walk.
Yep.
So it's kind of like I felt about it. So that's it.
That's fair. I have that as well. Like
I'm not expecting like Devil May Cry levels of quality here. Like I just want it to there's some variety. I want to have like it just has to be fun. I want to be incentivized to fight. That's all I'm asking. I'm not trying to play Devil May Cry.
All right. What's your number 3 then?
I kind of said it in that one.
Yeah, that's
the weapon breaking thing. I'm like not a fan.
So
I feel like they're gonna continue it, but like the weapon, like I said, it decentralizes fighting, and it's just like it's a cool idea. I like it because it convinces you to use different weapons. But unless they make the other weapon types more fleshed out and interesting, what is the point? There is none. So that's kind of how I felt about it. So yeah.
So I have a solution to that, which
Okay.
is I'll go into it because that's my number 3. I have blacksmith / fixing damage or broken weapons. I think that it is something that is necessary when you have that because there are some items that are really good that you only get once, or you have to figure out where it is, or like after a blood moon or something, and it's just like that's not right. Like I got this item, I should be able to keep this item.
So correct me if I'm wrong. Do you think the champion's weapons break?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like what is that?
Yeah.
Like.
The only one that doesn't break
Master
is the
Sword.
Master Sword,
Yeah.
but it needs to recharge.
Yeah.
Unless you beat the first DLC.
Yeah.
Which is stupid.
Yeah, I shouldn't be locked behind a paywall, but what?
Yeah, which is, like, really dumb. And, like, not only that, but in Hyrule Warriors, the new one, they showed a blacksmith. So...
Yeah, but in that game there are no breaking weapons.
So the hope is blacksmiths become a thing
Yeah.
in Breath of the Wild 2 and they learn.
They have to accept that they were wrong and they're not going to do that.
They did it with Skyward Sword.
That's true. They did do that.
And then we waited 6 years for a new game.
Alright guys, Breath of the Wild 2 6 years later.
Yeah, right. Halfway there.
Halfway there, guys. So yeah, that's... So I just think it's necessary, even if, like... Yeah.
The defeat.
I just think it's necessary if, like, you're gonna do a game like Breath of the Wild over... Over, like, a new, like... Zelda-esque game instead of... the more open world, non-traditional. So, Jack, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is, more stuff like cooking, like maybe like fashioning, like almost kind of in line of like what you were saying, like with like a blacksmith, like almost like you can gather resources and make your own weapons. Like I think that'd be kind of cool. Like it doesn't have to be crazy. Like the whole game doesn't have to be a crafting simulator, but like. Just some stuff like the blacksmith gives you a quest. He's like, hey, if you bring me like 8 iron, I'll make you a durable iron sword or like a better one. He's like, oh, if you bring me this much gold, I'll like upgrade it. And if it's like, Like, remember in Link Between Worlds, like, after you got 2 of those, like, special quartz, you would upgrade the Master Sword, and it went from, like, white to red to gold. Like, stuff like that. Just, like, upgrading your weapons, and maybe even making some new ones, upgrading the arrows. Like, maybe that's, like, the guy's like, if you have, like, this kind of powder, I can make, like, if you have, like, crystals or something, I can make ice arrows for you. Like, stuff like that. I think that would be kind of fun.
And what's weird is they had that in Skyward Sword, because you, like, would gather materials, and then you would, like, upgrade your weapons and stuff, and you would, it would make them better, which is crazy to think about, that they had that.
System. What the heck?
Skyward Sword.
Breath of the Wild can't do that, because their weapons break.
That's what I was saying, like, I feel like you could get, like, resources. And I was
Right.
saying, like, piggybacking off his idea, like, not breakable weapons.
Oh.
You just have, like, a blacksmith being like, hey, I'll refine them, or I'll make one for you. And you kind of incentivize going to look for those rare materials.
So we get damn Skyward Sword. Let's go.
You know, right?
Let's go.
Still a garbage game, but tried.
Yeah, they tried.
Alright.
So, yeah.
Nice. What's your number 2?
More Zelda.
That's a really good one.
Yeah,
I don't
actually
want
wish I
her,
had thought of that.
and I guarantee you it's going to happen. She's in the first hour and the last hour.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that
swear.
fucking creepy hand is just going to pull her somewhere, and you're going to have to go save her. Now, I don't want her to run around all the time fighting shit for me, but I would like to be like, hey, say you end up in some town, and they're like, don't worry, we got you. I'd like her to hang out there for a while, and, like, talk with me, maybe show up in the story. Maybe if she does go somewhere, maybe she comes back and is like, hey, Link, what's up? Like, shows up throughout the story. Or what, would be really funny is if you video chat her on the Sheikah Slate and she becomes your Navi, basically. I feel like that'd be kind of cool. Even, like, if you just hear her, because I feel like you can give a lot of her personality.
Yeah.
Especially,
do
like...
something. It's better than, okay.
And then it would
I
make
agree.
moments, like, when they're in person even more special because they're not on the phone together. So, more Zelda. I want more Zelda. I want her to acknowledge... Her and Link to... I know Link's not going to talk. But, like, I want the flashbacks, but now. Because those were great. Because they knew what I wanted, and it was just Link and Zelda chilling out.
Plus, yeah.
Wait.
Like, the flashbacks in
Yeah, okay.
in the game.
Makes sense, yes.
Like, they start off with her hating him, and then, somebody showing
like a
frogs
whole
and
story
stuff. Yeah,
thing.
Baka.
They went through a whole arc together.
Yeah.
Baka.
I started those flashbacks with her liking him, and then I was like, wait, she hated him, and then I saw why she liked him. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So I did it.
And then you read her diary.
Yeah, that was funny.
I need Link and Zelda. That's
My
That's
favorite-
my number 0. I need them.
My
together.
favorite is when the Game Grumps voice Zelda, because they always do it, because they do it in the Ocarina of Time one, when, like, the fuck your father,
There's always this weird crap. That voice.
yeah. So they did, like, that in the diary of Breath of the Wild, and it's just so good. So I guess I'm now piggybacking off of you, which is, so mine is more, broader, I guess, than that, or more generalized, which is an actual story, and, like, instead of just random, like, cutscenes, like, put out throughout the game, like how Twilight Princess has, like, you get to a certain point, here's a cutscene, and, like, you have, like, a story that's trying to actually be told, instead of, this is an open world, have at it. Or this is, like, an open world, and it's just, like, that worked for the first game when, you just woke up. This is now going to take place after you woke up, and now you have to come up with cutscenes for that.
In a world you know.
In a world you know. So, and I would love those moments with, like, Link and Zelda just, like, chatting. I would love to see Link with, like, the new champions and even Zelda. I would love to see, like other people as well, like, that are there, like Impa or, Robbie or whoever else. I think that'd be fun.
I think it'd be cool to see, like...
More voice acting.
Yeah, just more people.
Yeah.
Like, do something with the, What were the people that were anti-Sheikah? The banana people. The Yiga.
yeah.
Yeah, they,
Banana loving.
Yeah, the banana dudes. Make more of them show up.
Yeah.
They'd be funny.
It'd be funny if, like, they weren't, like, bad guys anymore, like, always trying to attack you. It would actually be really funny if, like, they were sort of like how Team Rocket is somewhat now.
Yeah, like they just show up a bunch.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
All right. Yeah. What's your? Oh yeah, and then like I guess to stem off of that, like I would also love to see like I don't want Zelda to leave, but I would love like if we had to get that in so in Ghost of Tsushima, you have moments where like you're speaking to your like you see your uncle speaking to like the main bad guy that's captured him, and like telling him all the stuff about the outside, and it's just like I would love to have like to see more Ganon, like scenes of him speaking.
Yeah.
Which I think would be really good. So that's another like cutscene I would love to see. Like after each dungeon, you see him just be like, "Well, I guess we're gonna have to try this now."
Yeah, like scenes without Link, like just being like, "Meanwhile, at Ganon's lair." That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. What's up? Number 2.
Wait, so I'm gonna do 2 and then 1, right?
You're gonna do 2 and 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it might kind of go together. So,
Yeah.
so I think it would be a good idea for them is to like be more linear. It probably sounds weird because Zelda's trying to do not do that, but I think it should be more linear.
That's sort of what I was going off of.
So that they can tell a. Oh, that's a spider.
Where?
Right there.
I bet.
Oh.
It's not too big.
Okay. Give me 1 sec.
Ooh, he's at a bad angle. That bitch is dead. You fried him.
Oh, I'll deal with it later.
Yeah. Anyway, what was I saying?
Linear to better story.
Right. Because that'll help them actually be able to tell a story. Because you can't do it in open world. Like, not usually it just doesn't work usually.
That's not entirely true because we have seen them be able to. Because, like, for example, Horizon Zero Dawn, as much shit as we could give it, it does actually.
That's not like an.
It tells a story.
I mean, it tells a story, but like, is it a really good one?
I haven't actually like played it, so I don't know. Spider-Man.
That's okay. But like, that's not like it's not the same as like Zelda, where like you just go explore. You know what I mean? Like,
Spider-Man was pretty much like that.
Yeah, but
unless you were like really caught in story, you could go anywhere.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. There's never a point in Zelda where you're just caught in story. Like you could just ignore the entire story the entire time.
And then same with God of War. You could pretty much. I mean, the world opens up to you.
Yeah, but I never really saw
like
that.
Twilight Princess.
I was gonna say, but those aren't really open world.
Exactly.
Games. Those are just
no God of War like.
Like I should have said more like open world sandbox.
I
should say.
Ones, yeah.
Well, it's like
I should say like more like open world sandbox games where like you do your own thing. Like those kinds of games usually can't really tell that great of a story. They can do a minimal thing. That's why Zelda doesn't have like
Isn't Far Cry open world?
They don't have good stories.
Oh no.
So that's just like what I think.
Well, I mean, I think also true, but I think also the Breath of the Wild is so like inherently tied down to the idea of running around and doing what you want that it just like kind of doesn't lend itself to telling a story.
No, because you could not only could you just completely ignore it, but you could also just like see it out of order or like whatever. Like there's nothing
like with Skyrim, you can ignore the story too, but it just so happens that whatever you get distracted by is just another story of something else. Like you say, oh well, I ended up in Riften. Well, you're probably doing the Dark Brotherhood quest, or I'm in Solitude. Well, you're probably doing the Imperial.
It's not like
you're probably doing the Civil War quest.
Yeah.
But there, there's always stuff to do. But like in Breath of the Wild, it's like, oh, I'm doing the main story, or I'm exploring this part of Hyrule.
In games like Skyrim, you don't have like character development or character arc or something. Like those things don't.
And like this is now sort of a sequel
Yeah.
to a game of characters we now know.
I mean, they're all dead anyway. To be fair, but
The only two we know are Link and
Right,
Zelda.
but
and
that's
one of
still-
them-
No, but
that's
you
still
also
not
you
nothing.
still have Sidon and Teba
Oh, true.
and
Impa.
Riju.
I don't know who Teba or Riju. Oh, Riju's the
right.
Goron.
And
not Goron.
Darbunia.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I remember the
I don't know his
Gerudo
name.
girl,
Gerudo,
Sidon, and Link and Zelda.
Daruba.
Yeah, but like so, like, you could have
Daruba
like a
is his
thing,
name?
like
I
a
don't
party,
know.
or like they were back with the old champions, and like have a thing
Yeah.
or whatever, So like, Yeah, increase linearity to facilitate a better story with like actual good dialogue and storytelling.
I think you could do it like semi-open world, where like the world will open up.
Yeah,
to
like
you.
I said, I don't mean totally linear. I just mean more linear than it was.
But like
in
and like
Breath of the
that,
Wild.
like how Twilight Princess does it, or how God of
that-
War does it,
Yeah.
the new one. So
Or the old Monster Hunter games, they would give you a giant area, and they're like, it's around there somewhere. Like you said, like how Twilight Princess does. It's
I mean, like they could figure it out, but like that's essentially like what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
which one was your second and which one was your first?
Linear was second, and then story was first.
Okay, that's fair.
Want me to give mine for? I feel like you're a better person to end on because you're the bigger Zelda fan.
Oh yeah, because my number one should really be touched upon. So you go.
I just want better dungeons. I know that's a very broad
Oh,
like.
shit, we have the same one.
Yeah.
Like I know that's like a broad criticism, like better
It
how.
is.
But I'll say how. They don't really have a theme. They do, but not really. Like, they all look the same. They are structurally built. Same with the shrines. I don't like the shrines because they all look the same. They're good puzzles, but I feel like I'm playing a mobile game on my Switch when I do it because I'm like, it feels like, in the
that's
sense
how I
that
feel.
it's the same assets over and over again.
Right.
Like, it's almost like if I gave you the same Legos. If I gave you 100 pieces of Legos, and then every week I gave you a picture of something that was made of 100 Legos, and I said, make that. Now that's cool. Your possibilities are not, are not small. Like if I give you like 100 of these pieces, I'm like, all right, make a 100-piece dragon, make a 100-piece sword, make a 100-piece this, that, the other thing. Sure, it's a lot, but if you're only ever working with those 100 pieces, there is a limit to what you can do.
Yep.
And I feel like with the shrines, they're just not very creative. Like the first 40 you do, you're probably like, these are neat, but then eventually they all bleed. I don't remember one. Because they all bleed into each other. And the games have had mini dungeons before, and you'd be like, that was kind of fun. That was interesting. And I feel like it's like, yeah, alright, the shrines had to be that generic because no way you're going to make someone do all those dungeons. Even Skyrim, some of the dungeons bleed into each other. Some of them I can remember like the back of my hand. There's a lot in that game too, but hey, not every game is made the same way. But then I expect more from the 4 main dungeons, and I didn't get that. One of them is literally dark for half of it, and that was the last one I did, and I was like, it's like it really felt like they just didn't care about this one.
Yeah, they were like, I can't, make it black, it's fine.
And then it's like, one of them's like, oh, well, you have to use water to get to different parts of it, and I'm like, ooh. And the other one's like, oh, well, it tips, and the other one spins. I'm like, again, that's the same problem with the shrines. It feels like you made one dungeon, because they all feel like they belong there.
I agree, yeah.
That feels like one dungeon that was explaining to you how to use all your items. Like, when I want an ice dungeon, I want an ice dungeon. I don't want a machine with water in it that I can freeze. I want snow. I want ice. I want wolves and shit.
Like a defined theme.
Yeah, like, I want them to be themed. Or, like, the fire one. I don't want it to... Oh, it's a dark room. You have to make it light. Make it a fucking volcano. They literally never mess up the fire dungeon. It's just a fucking hot room. The water one, they always fuck up, but tell me this. When was the last time you hated the fire dungeon in Zelda? You know why? Because they're the most inoffensive dungeons.
Yeah, even Skyward Sword is pretty solid. It's just fine, yeah.
Twilight Princess, you get the bow. Nothing really happens in that dungeon anyway.
I really like because I love the iron boots like mechanic, and like you're doing stuff like with that fire dungeon. It's like so fun. So
yeah, like so that's what I want. I just want the dungeons to. Like, I feel like if they're not going to put in work for all the mini dungeons or all the extra stuff, I want them to... You know why? They have one dungeon. One really good dungeon. Hyrule Castle. And it's the best dungeon in the series in my eyes. Because it's so... Yeah, I love it. I spent 2 hours one day just running around the castle. I already beat the game. I 100%'ed all the shrines. I just ran around because I loved it. I was, like, running around the prison, the dining room, the master
it's
bedrooms.
actually, like, really... Yeah.
But it's like, also, it feels like it's a final dungeon or 2 dungeons put together. I'm like, but you only have 4 dungeons. The dungeons in Majora's Mask are really good because there's only 4 of them and they put a lot of work into them. Like the desert temple in Majora's Mask is so fucking good. It's like a fucking burial ground. It's a tower you turn upside down.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's so creative. And when I was like, oh, there's only 4 dungeons in Breath of the Wild, I was like, yeah, they're probably going to be 4 really good dungeons. If they weren't, they were some of the worst.
You know, it's especially because
Yeah.
it's like in like all of them, all you're doing is like hitting like a terminal or whatever. Like it's
putting
always
the
like,
ship aside where he
activating.
wants.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, let me activate this thing, and then okay, and then activate all 4, and then I can fight the boss. It's like that's just that every dungeon.
Like when I play Twilight Princess, like the ice dungeon, I
Yeah.
usually don't like ice mechanics. The ice dungeon's one of my favorites because it's an abandoned mansion that has holes in it and the snow seeping in, and it just and these 2 giants live there, and it feels lived in. Like it feels like this is an actual
It
place
is.
where things would happen.
It's so weird that she's so much smaller than he is, though.
It really is. It.
And it's just like when they're like, because they're like husband and wife.
And he's like this tall, like he's like 3 of Link, and she's barely taller than Link.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah.
I should play Skyward Sword. I mean,
Twilight Princess.
You should.
You really should. What's another good dungeon from that
I don't
Hyrule
have a console
Castle?
for that.
The Temple of Time is really good. The Forest Temple, the Fire Temple, not the Water or Sky Temple. I don't like them. The Sky
Water
Temple.
one's aight. Sky Temple's aight.
I get too turned around in them. That's why I don't.
I love the mechanic of the first one because it's like, let's go find the monkeys.
Yeah, literally the first dungeon is Save Monkey.
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 All right, Link. It's time to
Save
revert
Monkey.
back to Monkey.
Revert to Monkey. Oh, and then the Arbiter's Grounds. For some reason, Miranda hates that dungeon. I love it.
That's the desert one, right?
That's where you get the Beyblade.
It's so good. It's so
That's my
good.
actual favorite dungeon is the Arbiter's Grounds.
I can't pick a favorite one. I just like all of them.
Anyway, so
Mine's also dungeons. I could sort of kind of. I'm okay with shrines, but like as you said, we've always had mini dungeons that sort of bleed into each other, but every single main dungeon in a game always feels like they're their own.
I feel like there's no other game in the series where we say they all felt the same.
Yeah, especially because like the shrines are good in complement to fully like good
Realized
Fully
dungeons.
realized dungeons.
Like I
So
wouldn't
it only
complain
fits.
about the shrines. I'd be like, because I said I understand, but like when the dungeons are shitty.
Yeah, I mean, if anything,
So I'd
that's
say
where
like
they-
you what you were gonna say.
I was gonna say like they could have even diverted some of the ideas from the shrines and just put them into dungeons. 'Cause
Yeah.
There's some cool stuff in there. I don't know.
Just take like, oh well, I
Anything.
realized there's like 40 of the ice shrines. Why don't we just take the greatest hits of that, put it in
Yeah.
there, smack some fucking snow on it, ice dungeon.
Boom. I don't know.
So my thought is I wouldn't get rid of shrines entirely. I think shrines are fine, but like only make like half them to like 60 or make it like 40. And then so that way you could spend a lot of your time working on the dungeons in general because that's just good like that's just good like game design to make like really good dungeons like in a Zelda game.
Yeah, that's literally like
The
your
people
bread and
that
butter.
perfected dungeons.
Yeah, that's right. You like. Yeah.
that's
That's
like
your identity.
That's
And I
my
under-
favorite part of a Zelda game.
Yeah. And I understand that you're trying to like get away from your identity and go to Skyrim, who actually, by the way, Skyrim had a lot of its inspiration from Zelda. A lot of games have inspiration from this, and this is just like, all right, we're gonna go back to that, and it's just like, well, we're gonna like start to like go around them, and it's just like, you made a great game, you just didn't make a good Zelda game. At the end of the day, because Link could literally be anybody and the story's the
But
same.
you can say that for any Zelda game.
Yeah, but I feel
Link
well,
doesn't have
I
a
get what he's saying. It's
personality.
like all the other Zelda games. It feels like
No, no,
playing a Zelda game.
I agree with you on that. I'm just saying like.
And like it makes
Link
sense that
has
that's
nothing to do
Link,
with it. He's
but
not
literally
in the
you
equation.
could have changed every single one of the species and everything else, and you could be like, that wasn't a Zelda game. But there are things that are known as Zelda
Right,
clones
I agree.
themselves
Yeah.
that you're just like, well, that's a Zelda clone. That's a Zelda game. And what's good about like the Zelda dungeons is there's always a puzzle. There's always like these mini bosses, and there's always like these like really cool places to find pieces of hearts or like just like a bunch of other items that you could use that are optional to find that are just it's so fun to like do. And I just think this game lacks that, which is not saying like I think that like the game is really good and it made a lot of people be like, hey, I want to play more Zelda games, And that's great. Especially after the last attempt at that, which was Skyward Sword.
Well, they're going to be in for a big of a shock because none of the games are like this one.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny too is like Breath of the Wild's whole aesthetic. I think it really shines in. It's supposed to be like a land literally untouched, pretty much for 100 years. Like, obviously people still live there, but you're supposed to go to most of the locations and get the vibe that the Wild has literally reclaimed it. Like when you go to any of the like goddess statues,
Yeah.
like especially like for Roar, it's in like the middle of the woods, and you feel like you stumbled on a place that used to have like no trees, and it used to thralls of people used to be there, and now it literally might not exist in people's eyes anymore.
Yeah.
Yet think about what the dungeons are supposed to be. Places that haven't been touched for thousands of years, but instead they made them these giant robot dogs that they fucking pilot, and
That's
it's like,
pretty
no, they're
cool.
still perfectly pristine. Like, how cool would it have been to have, like, I don't know, like the desert dungeon. And
I
it's
don't
all
think they
decrepit, it's a cave, and like part of it
they
is
have been more
falling in on
organic
itself.
dungeons.
Yeah, they're all
Where they're more built
robots.
into... Yeah, they could have been more built into the setting.
like I
rather
feel like
than
the
just-
IT guy of Hyrule's Air Force.
Pretty
Damn,
much, yeah.
That's actually a really good way to put it. That's... Because you're basically
Like
just
the
fixing...
military defense. You're
good.
fixing
That's
rogue
hilarious.
robots.
And
Oh
the
my
thing
God,
is
that's
like
actually
you don't even
incredible.
have to do that. You could just go
That's
to Ganon.
actually incredible.
Yeah, true.
And like that, it makes the game interesting and it makes it like different from all of the Zelda games. But to me, I've been a Zelda fan since 2006 is when Twilight Princess came out, and I've played like most of them, and I know like what is a good Zelda game. Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, Majora's Mask, etc. And I know what a bad Zelda game is. 2 CDI. And you know, like Skyward Sword.
Phantom Hourglass. Don't like that game. Maybe.
I don't think the DS games are. Yeah,
No.
those two are probably the two
Phantom Hourglass,
worst.
Spirit Tracks.
Like at least
They
the
are.
CDI games are funny as fuck.
Yeah. You know what Spirit
Like
Tracks
that
does do, though?
it's like how Sonic 06 funny as fuck, but Sonic Boom is boring as shit.
Yeah. Like it's
Or
bad
Sonic,
and
oh wait,
boring.
wait,
Yeah.
Sonic Boom before the patch is funny as fuck.
Yeah.
Right.
Hello,
Then they fixed it.
Knuckles, and then they fixed it and now it's shit. But and it's like those two games, and then Skyward Sword, and then the CDI ones. Whereas like you have the two DS games, and like but the CDI ones are just so funny that like you would really have to be a nostalgia whore in order to really like Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks, in my opinion.
Yeah. What were you saying now? I think I might know what you're gonna say. Is something about because we were talking about Phantom Hourglass.
Yeah.
Do you know apparently AJ Aonuma's favorite Zelda game?
Phantom
I think you
Hourglass?
told me. Yeah, it's Phantom Hourglass.
Is it because you're not in Hyrule and you're
No.
not fighting Ganon?
He just thinks it's an interesting.
I think it was like the
concept.
first game like he directed.
So it like
That would make sense.
it basically holds a special place in his heart, and
Yeah.
everyone's just like, if not Ocarina of Time, not like Link to the Past, not Twilight
Yeah.
Princess, like the big ones, not the DS game where you have an 8-minute timer.
And like
And I mean, like, that's what I really think is cool about Zelda games, is that, like, there is no one game that everybody says this is the definitive best.
Yeah, it feels like there's like a S tier, but it's like a stacked S tier.
It's like, you have Twilight, there's, like, Twilight Princess,
Link to the Past.
Link to the Past, Wind Waker, Ocarina, Majora's Mask, Breath of the Wild's up there.
I'd argue the big three are Link to the Past, Twilight Princess, and Ocarina. And then, like, below that is, like, Breath of the Wild and Majora.
I'd say it's big four with Breath of the Wild, but that's me.
That's true.
I'd say, like, bottoms, like
I haven't
Majora's
played
Mask
those
and,
other
like,
games,
Wind
so I
Waker.
just can't say anything.
What?
And I was saying I just haven't played any of the other games. So I won't say anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm personally not a huge fan. Of Breath,
You know what? You know what game I
Oh,
want to
Breath of
play?
the Wild?
It's okay.
I think you would like the other ones.
I do, for what it's worth, still like Skyward Sword. So like I'm sure I'd like the other ones that were better versions of that.
39-part series.
Oh my god! Don't even remind me, dude.
I want to play Minish Cap.
I want to play...
I tried to play Minish Cap. I played it on the emulator one.
I haven't
Was
played it.
Did you stop because of the emulator's hard to play it with, or
Yeah, mainly that. Mainly
Because
that.
you need like the shoulder buttons and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just like
Gotta buy a controller.
Yeah.
at the emulated games you have to have a controller.
You know,
else.
my thing too. Well, because I was thinking on my phone at the time.
No,
like,
that would do it.
yeah, like I don't know, like with Zelda games, I guess like I'm more into the 3D ones. The 2D ones don't usually do it for me.
Same.
I think you would like Twilight just because it has a little more going on, especially in regards to its
Oh
story.
yeah, I
You know,
think
the
you would
games
so
I'm
be
more
into
interested
it.
in are Majora's Mask and that one because I love like the atmosphere and theme of those games more than the other ones.
Especially Twilight Princess has the best combat.
Mhm.
There's a shade. What's really cool is you find
because
it
he
7
teaches like
times.
techniques and stuff.
Oh,
right?
Neil, there's
Really cool.
one. I don't know if you obviously remember it, but it's the 5th hidden skill. It's called the Fatal Draw.
Yes.
And Neil, they have cinematography.
Yeah.
He puts his sword away. He pulls it out, spins, and then goes. There is no blocking this. This is fatal.
Oh.
And then just backs off from
That's
you and goes,
sick.
now do it. Oh, it's so cool. And especially because before you learn it, he goes, let me stop you right now. This is where they get dangerous for you. He's like, fuck the other ones up, you can get away with it. They're kind of safe. He's like, fuck this one up, you die.
Damn.
Like the thing about like the hero shade as well, which is really cool, is it's Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is
I'll be right
so cool.
You know, like another thing is like I don't know. I guess one of the main reasons I've not played other Zelda game is like. Okay, well, I think it's 2 reasons. One of them is that like, especially back then, but also kind of now, they're not usually the games that I look for like story and characters, but like now I'm more willing to play games that don't have those things as much. So I'm like that's not a problem anymore. But like also,
Twilight Princess and I'd say Majora's Mask if you do a lot of the side quests. Have so many characters.
Well, you know that's why I want to play those 2 games so much.
I'd say like Ocarina of Time's everybody like is really big on it. I'd say like character wise about for Link, Wind Waker.
Yeah, no, I mean yeah, he's definitely the most. But here's the thing, like
But Wind Waker just gets like so tedious.
Yeah, no, I've seen like I'm not into it. There are cool things I like about it, but like no.
It's the one I've never been able to finish.
Yeah.
Because of how it is.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I've just not owned. So the only console I owned that I could play those Zelda games on was a Wii. I could play Twilight Princess.
But you have Dolphin, right?
I do, but I don't think my laptop could run like a Zelda game. I don't think so.
Probably not Skyward Sword, but you might be able to get away with.
Because I can run surprisingly Metroid Prime, but like
full, like clean.
like no lag or anything.
You can run Wind Waker.
Oh, Wind Waker. I was thinking of more of.
And you could probably run Twilight.
Princess.
You could probably.
Because like, I don't have a Wii U and I don't have a Wii anymore. I also didn't want to play with this. I was gonna actually buy Twilight Princess. I really thought about it, and then I was like, I'm not playing with fucking after I played Skyward Sword.
So what I would have
never
done.
Again. Never again.
What I would do honestly is literally like just get like an Xbox controller or hell. Actually,
well, I have a PlayStation controller.
Yeah, you just like plug that in.
Yeah.
There's like an app.
That's how
and
I
you
play
can just
on,
like do it.
Yeah, that's true. Like, well, on the Dolphin, I think
Yeah.
you can just use it.
You might be able to. I don't know.
Because that's what I do. Like, I played it all with, I played it with GameCube, actually. Because I did Metroid Prime. But whatever.
But yeah, pretty, like, I guess going back to dungeons, it's just like a Zelda game almost it felt like incomplete without any proper dungeons, and the fact that, like, the only proper dungeon, in my opinion, because we got Mega Dungeon, and then inferior dungeons, was the one in the DLC, and you had to beat literally everything to, like, get to it.
I didn't even get there.
And you didn't even get there.
Yeah, I was gonna say
and it's pretty much just a better version of the Divine Beasts, except you didn't control it with the tablet. You just played through the dungeon, and it had a real like boss instead of the same boss sort of over and over again.
Different colored light.
Yep.
4 times.
Except this one shoots water energy, and this one shoots fire, and this one shoots lightning, and this one shoots air.
See, at least that Skyward Sword had different bosses.
Remember Coloctus? He was cool.
Yeah.
The fucking...
Which one was that?
That's the golden thing you can pick up his swords
my
and
favorite
shit.
boss in that entire
Wait, what was
thing.
that?
Coloctus in Skyward Sword. Remember, you have to use the
multiple
whip thing on him,
arms.
but you can pick up his giant swords.
Yeah. That one's so good.
I love that. That's my favorite. Like,
yeah, that one's probably.
Or the pirate duel.
Pirate was
as
pretty
much
fun.
as an utter nightmare Skyward Sword was,
Some pretty good ideas to it.
like, it has like great ideas.
Dude, the whole
It's
desert area.
It's sick, dude. That whole. Oh
it's
my god.
it's like how in my opinion, like, and they fixed this with the 3D All Stars collection, because you don't need like, because gyro controls work so much better than motion controls. Like Super Mario Galaxy is plagued by its motion controls sometimes, because like I played I mean like I've played it like recently, Galaxy, like on both, like on the Switch and on like emulated like with Wiimote and Nunchuck, and I could tell you right now that feel like the one on the Switch feels more natural. And it's because you have gyro controls instead of like a Wiimote pointing at like a stick.
Yep.
And like you can move like the pointer with like motion, like with gyro controls. And that's why I really want a Skyward Sword remake, because I want it with gyro controls instead of like dumb and like a button, by the way, because you use a button to spin in that version.
Yeah.
So you could use a button to do whatever you want in Skyward Sword.
Well, it's like, but like you have to also swing in directions, and like that you can't do a button with that. Like how would you do that?
I don't particularly know.
I don't think it's possible.
I guarantee the way they do it is they'd
Gyro
suggest you to
controls.
play this way, and they'd be like swing
You
and
have
press.
to. But remember, the whole point of the Switch is so you can play both ways.
Yeah.
So if you can't do it both, I don't think that they'd put it out.
I know what you would do.
What?
I'll just pretend this is Pro Controller.
Yeah.
So you would be like this, right? So let's just say like you press B and it takes out your like weapon, right? And then you would like move it around with the gyro controls. And then like you could like tilt it like this, so that way, and the press B, so that way you would get like a swing, maybe like
I guess, but
this.
I don't see that being very comfortable or fun. To like do this to like, because you gotta do it like fast to like hit enemies and stuff. Because like they move like.
it would be more efficient, and you could actually do it really quick.
If
You would
say
believe
so.
it or not.
I don't know, man.
But yeah, I guess
Plus, if you played it handheld, you'd have to tilt the entire screen, which probably isn't optimal.
that's true.
Yeah.
However, they will do it anyways just to make money.
If they fully remake the game, I think they could do it. Cause
Yeah, but then they'd have to reprogram like every enemy, almost.
That's
Like,
true.
all the normal enemies all do like their different
Might as
things.
well just make a
you know.
sequel at that point.
Exactly. At that
This is
point.
why we don't do motion controls,
Which is rough.
Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
You literally unfuture-proof the
yeah,
game.
exactly. Games that run
I don't know.
too
It
heavily
worked.
on
It
motion
worked for
control.
Galaxy. I don't
But,
see
like,
why
that
it
game
couldn't
doesn't-
work.
But yeah, that has a pointer and spin. Like Breath of the Wild has like, yeah, granted
tiny.
it's essentially an attack, but a lot of stuff is like, yeah, sure, if you just make it a button and you even do something like, you know, this, now you're gonna attack sideways or this, now you'll attack the other way, or you know, like this shit. But like Neil was saying, all the enemies are.
Going
If
to be,
if
like-
it wasn't a motion control game, they literally couldn't just use those enemies, because then you would just walk around them and then.
Exactly.
Like in Twilight Princess, like, the way it works, like, shield up, you're not going to hit them, unless you hit them from, like, the side or the back. But, like, in Skyward Sword, it'd be, like, shield up, like shield up. You can only hit me from right here, but then I'm going to do this. Now you have to lunge at me, but then I'm going to do this, and then now you're going to have to go from above.
Yeah.
So it's, like, it's cool. If the motion controls worked, it would probably be like the greatest game ever, and you'd be like, fuck, the next Switch has to have better motion controls so they can remake Skyward Sword, but it's not, so it isn't.
That's true.
Like, honestly, if the motion controls worked, I would love the game. I think the game is cool.
Yeah.
Like, I think it has some very glaring issues. Like, it's very repetitive, they reuse the same areas,
Yeah,
but I
but
think
me
the
and Neil-
story's good. I
I
think some of the
mean,
characters
story-
are great. Like,
Story
Bruce
music
is
are phenomenal.
awesome.
Yeah,
But
the
yeah,
characters, I agree.
I mean,
And some of the concepts, the desert.
yes. All that stuff is great.
I
The
mean,
desert's the one thing I don't mind being reused.
No, you're right. Yeah, I do think it'd be it'd be a
Yeah.
good game. I agree. You know,
Oh, true. I was gonna say, but me and Neil love repetitive games.
Damn you. Damn you.
I'm right though.
Yeah, I'm like, damn you and your correctness.
My hubris. Alright, well, we've talked about this enough. I mean,
Yeah.
we talked about dungeons and everything. And to be completely honest, again, I'm just hopeful that like we just get a decent like Zelda experience on we get a Zelda experience on the Switch instead of a.
Because you know we ain't getting another one for 6 years.
True. 2024. No, 2020. Yeah, 2024.
Like, what did they do?
Let's do it.
Like, damn.
If you guys enjoyed,
Leave a rate.
yeah, let's like rate this video.
Yeah.
Donate. Sub. Send some gift subs.
Gift subs in the chat. Can I
Live
get a
stream
Pog
yourself
chant?
watching this video.
Yeah, dude.
On the face mixer.
On I was literally gonna say on Mixer. Like you can do it on Facebook Live,
Facebook Live.
Instagram, Facebook Live, Twitter. Live stream yourself on Twitter for 8 hours.
And we'll see you guys on our MySpace page.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Later.